We have now entered the second week of a federal trial for 9 people accused of attacking a Johnson County ICE detention center. This happened last July. Today started with talks not just about the case specifically, but also, and interestingly, about the Branch Davidian case, the one in Waco from 30 years ago. I-Team producer Kelsey Mittauer, our eyes and ears inside the trial, where cameras, of course, aren't allowed. My first question when I heard this, what in the world does Branch Davidian in that case have to do with this one?
Right, so it all comes down to self-defense against police, Doug. The government here does not want anybody on trial to claim self-defense against the officer. You remember there was an officer who was shot that night in Alvarado. What it has to do with Waco is after the standoff in 1993, some of the Branch Davidians tried to claim self-defense. It didn't work, and a later court ruling found that when you do something that elicits a police response, when they come, the bar for you to claim self-defense is much, much higher. And so the judge in this case agreed with the government and said that none of the people on trial can claim self-defense against the police.
Okay, very interesting. Last week, it was kind of all about the videos, if I recall correctly, from that night specifically. Do you have any hint on the next phase of the government's case, what it's about?
Yeah, it's really about the ideology, Doug. We spent hours today going through pictures of things that they seized from the homes and cars of some of the people on trial. I mean, literature. It was just books and pamphlets, flyers, journals, notebooks, artwork, doodles, all of it. I mean, none of it had a clear theme. There were ideas in there, everything from anarchy and anti-fascism. There was a lot of animal conservation, feminist talks. And so it's the government's attempt to say that this group shared an ideology that led them to do whatever happened that night. But as the defense brought up time and time again, it's not illegal to own any of these things. Everything that has been introduced, you can legally own.
Right. And when we last talked, you said government expected to wrap up their case later this week. So two-part question. Do you think that's still the case? And if so, what can we expect the rest of the week?
I think they're trying really hard to wrap up by Friday. Now, they didn't get as far as I think they expected today, but the next phase, just keep in mind, we've had 30 law enforcement officers testify so far. So it's been very heavy on the investigative angle, but the next phase is going to be 5 people who are listed as witnesses who were also arrested as part of this investigation. So the government says that they're co-conspirators. They took plea deals and they've agreed to testify against these 9. So that's going to be some really interesting testimony. And then the government has also called a man from a conservative think tank. It's called the Center for Security Policy. His name is Kyle Scheidler. He's also the author of a book called Unmasking Antifa. So we expect that's where the government's going to make their case, saying that these people are part of an Antifa North Texas cell. So it's going to be an interesting rest of the week.
Okay. Inside federal court, the only way we get this great info is with our Kelsey Mittauer inside for us. Thank you, Kels. Appreciate you.